I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! And he only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was a honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, he liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, he liked to listen to country music, he was quite tall and slim, and he smelt really, really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, he liked to listen to country music, he was quite tall and slim, and he smelt really, really bad. And that morning, he'd got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, he liked to listen to country music, he was quite tall and slim, he smelt really, really bad. That morning, he'd got up early and hadn't had any coffee, and he was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. That morning, he'd got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief, but he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw!
Once there was a boy, and one day he found a penguin at his door. The boy didn't know where it had come from, but it began to follow him everywhere. The penguin looked sad, and the boy thought it must be lost. So the boy decided to help the penguin find its way home. He checked in the Lost and Found office, but no one was missing a penguin. He asked some birds if they knew where the penguin had come from, but they ignored him. Some birds are like that. The boy asked his duck, but the duck floated away. He didn't know. That night the boy couldn't sleep for disappointment. He wanted to help the penguin, but he didn't know how. The next morning, he discovered that penguins come from the South Pole. But how could he get there? He ran down to the harbour and asked a big ship to take them to the South Pole, but his voice was much too small to be heard over the ship's horn. So together, he and the penguin would row to the South Pole. They took his rowboat out of the cupboard and they tested it for size and strength. They packed everything they would need, and together they pushed the rowboat out to sea. They rowed south for many days and nights, with the boy telling stories all the way. The penguin listened to everything that the boy said. They floated through good weather and bad, when the waves were as big as mountains, until they came to the South Pole. The boy was delighted, but the penguin said nothing. Suddenly, it looked sad again as the boy helped it out of the boat. The boy said goodbye and floated away. But as he looked back, the penguin looked sadder than ever. It felt strange to be on his own, and the more he thought, the more he realised he was making a big mistake. The penguin wasn't lost. He was just lonely. Quickly, he turned the boat around and headed back to the South Pole as fast as he could. At last, he reached the pole again. But where was the penguin? The boy searched and searched, but he was nowhere to be found. Sadly, the boy set off for home. There was no point telling stories because there was no one to listen except the wind and the waves. But then the boy saw something in the water ahead of him. Closer and closer and closer he got until he could see the penguin. And so the boy and his friend went home together, talking of wonderful things all the way. The end.
Hello English Martyrs, I am your mystery fish teacher and today I am going to read Sharing a Shell by Julia Donaldson. Look, a crab with no shell, running along by the sea. Tap, tap, tap. You can't come in, you can't share a shell with me, or me, or me, or me. Look, a gull with a wide open beak. Run for your life, crab, hide! At last, in a pool, an empty shell. Quick, crab, scuttle inside. One crab, safe in his shell, under the summer sun, roaming all over the rock pool in his wonderful home for one. Look, a blob, a bright purple blob. What can this blob thing be? Go away, blob, whoever you are. You can't share a shell with me. I'm an anemone, not a blob. Please let me share your shell. Give me a ride to look for some food and perhaps I can help you as well. Look, a fish with jaws open wide. Fresh crab for dinner, here goes. Out shoots a tentacle, quick as a flash, stinging the fish on the nose. Two friends sharing a shell under a sky of blue, romping all over the rock pool in their wonderful home for two. Look, a brush thing trying to get in, wiggling and making a fuss. Go away, brush, whoever you are. You can't share a shell with us. I'm not a brush, I'm a bristleworm. Please let me in. Don't be mean. I love doing housework. I'll suck up the scraps and I'll keep the shell lovely and clean. Three friends sharing a shell down by the sparkling sea, rollicking all around the rock pool in their wonderful home for three. But look how they've grown. The shell is too small. You're getting too heavy, says Crab. I'm fed up with being your taxi. It's time you found a new cab. Really, says Blob, how ungrateful. Here I am slaving away, scaring off all the fierce fishes. Well, if that's how you feel, I won't stay. Peace, cries Brush, but nobody hears. The other two creatures split up. Blob finds an empty ice cream tub. Crab finds a nice paper cup. Crab in the cup, Blob on the tub. Each one pretends to be glad. Brush, doing both lots of housework, knows they are lonely and sad. Look, a storm, a terrible storm, crashing and flashing all night. Two homes smashed on the rocks. Oh, what a terrible sight. But look, a shell, a beautiful shell. Crab and anemone stare, too shy to speak to each other, too proud to say, shall we share? Listen, a voice, and out pokes a head, from the whelk shell washed up by the foam. It's ready, I've done all the housework, climb on and come in, welcome home. Three friends sharing a shell, happy as housemates can be, rocketing all around the rock pool in their wonderful home for three. That is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it, English Martyrs, and I will see you very soon.
Hello, and I am going to read. I will not, ever, never eat a tomato. Can you guess who it is? I have this little sister Lola. She is small and very funny. Sometimes I have to keep an eye on her. Sometimes Mum and Dad ask me to give her dinner. This is a hard job because she is a very fussy eater. Lola won't eat carrots, of course. She says carrots are for rabbits. I say, what about peas? Lola says, peas are too small and too green. One day I played a good trick on her. Can you guess who I am?
This is your story by your masked reader. Once there were 3 baby owls, Sarah, Percy and Bill. They lived in a hole in a trunk of a tree with their mother owl. The hole had twigs and leaves and owl feathers in it, and it was their home. One night they woke up and their owl mother was gone. "Where's Mummy?" asked Sarah. "Oh my goodness," said Percy. "I want my mummy," said Bill. The baby owls thought, because all owls think a lot. "I think she's gone hunting," said Sarah. "To get us our food," said Percy. "I want my mummy," said Bill. But their owl mother didn't come. The baby owls came out of their house and they sat on the tree and they waited for her. A big branch for Sarah, a small branch for Percy, and an old bit of ivy for Bill. "She'll be back," said Sarah. "Back soon," said Percy. "I want my mummy," said Bill. It was dark in the woods, and they had to be brave, for things moved all around them. "She'll bring us mice and things that are nice," said Sarah. "I suppose so," said Percy. "I want my mummy," said Bill. They sat and they thought. "I think we should all sit on my branch," said Sarah. And they did, all 3 of them together. "Suppose she got lost," said Sarah. "Or a fox got her," said Percy. "I want my mummy," shouted Bill. And the baby owls closed their little owl eyes and wished their owl mother would come. And she did. Soft and silent, she swooped through the trees to Sarah and Percy and Bill. "Mummy!" they cried, and they flapped and they all danced and bounced up and down on their branch. "What's all the fuss about?" said Mother Owl. "You knew I'd come back." The baby owls thought, because all owls think a lot. "I knew it," said Sarah. "And I knew it," said Percy. "I love you, Mummy," said Bill.
Hello, I'm going to tell you a story. I bet you can't guess who I am. My story is Room on the Broom. The witch had a cat and a very tall hat and long ginger hair which she wore in a plait. How the cat purred and the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. "Down!" cried the witch as they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but nothing could be found. Then out of the bushes, at the thundering paws, a dog bounded in, and with a hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the wind pulled the hat firmly down on her head, "I am a dog, as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog just like me?" "Why, yes," cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. See if you can guess who I am. Bye.
Hello English Martyrs, I'm your tree teacher and I'm going to read you a book called The Tin Forest. Ready? It's all about forests, I think you'll like it. There was once a wide windswept place, near nowhere and close to forgotten, that was filled with all the things that no one wanted. Right in the middle was a small house with small windows that looked out onto other people's rubbish. In the house lived an old man. Every day he tried to tidy away the rubbish, sifting and sorting, burning and burying. And every night the old man dreamed. He dreamed he lived in a jungle full of wild forest animals. There were colourful birds, tropical trees, exotic flowers, toucans, tree frogs and tigers. But when he woke, his world outside was still the same. One day, something caught the old man's eye, and an idea planted itself in his head. The idea grew roots and sprouted, feeding on the rubbish. It grew leaves. It grew branches. It grew bigger and bigger. Under the old man's hand, a forest emerged. A forest made of rubbish. A forest made of tin, but not the forest of his dreams. But it was the forest just the same. Then one day across the windswept plain, a bird came. The old man spilled crumbs from his sandwiches onto the ground, and the bird ate the crumbs and perched to sing in the branches of a tin tree. But the next morning, the visitor was gone. All day the old man walked through the silence and his heart ached with emptiness. And that night, by moonlight, he made a wish. In the morning, the old man woke to the sound of birdsong. The visitor had returned, and with him his friend. The birds dropped seeds from their beaks, and soon green shoots broke through the earth. Time passed, and soon the song of birds mingled with the buzzing of insects and the rustle of trees. Small creatures appeared, creeping amongst the jungle of trees, and wild animals slipped through the green shadows. There was once a forest, near nowhere and close to forgotten, that was filled with all the things that everyone wanted. And in the middle was a small house and an old man who had toucans, tree frogs and tigers in his garden. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.
The true story of the three little pigs. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. Nobody knows the real story of the three little pigs, because nobody knows my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf, and you can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my little dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold and I ran out of sugar. So I went next door to ask if I could borrow a cup of sugar. Now the guy next door was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind builds a house out of straw? Anyway, I knocked on the door and it fell right in. I didn't want to walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear little old granny's birthday cake, but my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it all up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little bit better after this, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next house. The guy who lived there was the first little pig's brother. He was a bit smarter, but not much. And he built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell, and nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And he yelled back, Go away, wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell right down, just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honour. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the right thing. I had my dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better. And still I didn't have that cup of sugar that I needed to make my cake. So I went to the next house. Now this guy was the first and second little pig's brother. But I think he had the brains of the family because he built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. So I shouted, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker said? Get out of here, wolf, don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't give me one little cup for my birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on again. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. And then the third little pig yelled, And your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm pretty calm usually, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little bit crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break this door of the pig's house down. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. Now the news reporters found out about 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me into a big bad wolf. I mean, do I look like a big bad wolf? But that's it really. The real story of the 3 little pigs. I was framed. Maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar, please?
I'm going to tell you a story. This is how the story begins. On a dark hill, there was a dark town. And in the dark town, there was a dark street. And in the dark street, there was a dark house. And in the dark house, there was a dark staircase. Down the dark staircase, there was a dark cellar. And in the dark cellar, some skeletons lived. There was a big skeleton, a little skeleton, and a dog skeleton. One night, the big skeleton sat up in bed and he scratched his skull. "What shall we do tonight?" he said. "Let's take the dog for a walk," said the little skeleton, "and frighten somebody." "Good idea," said the big skeleton, and off they went.
Hello, English Martyrs. I'm going to read you a story called The Monkey Puzzle. I've lost me mum. Hush, little monkey, don't you cry. I'll help you find her, said Butterfly. Let's have a think, how big is she? She's big, said the monkey. She's bigger than me. Bigger than you? I've seen you, Mum. Come, little monkey, come, come, come. Oh, no, that's an elephant. My mum isn't a great grey hog. She hasn't got tusks or a curly trunk. She don't have green thick baggy knees. And anyway, her tail coils round her trees. She coils round trees, then she's very near. Quick, little monkey, she's over here. No, that's a snake. Mum don't look a bit like this. She don't slither about and hiss. She doesn't curl round a nest of eggs, and anyway, my mum's got more legs. Oh, it's legs we're looking for now, you say? I know where she is then. Come this way. Oh, no, that's a spider. My mum isn't black and hairy and fat. She's not got so many legs as that. She'd rather eat fruit and swallow a fly, and she lives in the treetops way up high. She lives in the trees? You should have said. Your mum is hiding above your head. Oh, no, that's a parrot. Mum's got a nose and not a beak. She don't squawk or squabble and shriek. She don't have claws or feathery wings. And anyway, my mum leaps and springs. Oh, I've got it. She leaps about. She's just round the corner without a doubt. No, that is a frog. A butterfly, please don't joke. Mum's not green and she don't croak. She's not all slimy, oh dear, what a muddle. She's brown and furry and nice to cuddle. Oh, brown fur, why didn't you tell me so? We'll find her in no time, off we go. No, that is a bat. Why do you keep on getting it wrong? Mum don't sleep the whole day long. I told you she's got no wings at all. And anyway, she's not nearly so small. Your mum's not little. Now let me think. She's down by the river having a drink. No! That's the elephant again! Butterfly, can't you see that none of these creatures look like me? You never told me she looked like you. Of course I didn't. I thought you knew. I didn't know. I couldn't, you see. None of my babies look like me. She looks like you. Well, if that's the case, we'll soon discover her hiding place. Oh, no. That's me dad. Come, little monkey. Come. It's time I took you home to your mum. The end.
The pigeon wants a puppy. Oh, hello. How are you? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. By the way, do you know what I want? What I've wanted forever. At least since last Tuesday. A puppy! Puppy. Oh, don't worry. I'll take care of it. I promise I'll water it once a month. What? Everybody knows that puppies need plenty of sunshine. Oh, I get it. You don't want me to be happy, do you? You don't want me to take a piggyback ride with my puppy or play tennis with it. You just don't understand. I'm a puppy-loving pigeon. Ah, puppies. I want a puppy right here, right now. Woof. What's that? Is it possible? Have my dreams come true? Woof, woof. Woof. It's huge! The teeth, the hair, that wet nose, the slobber, the claws. I mentioned the teeth, right? Really, I had no idea. I've changed my mind. I want a walrus.
We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, grass. Long, wavy grass. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. A river. A deep, cold river. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Splash, 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 splash. Going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. Mud. Thick, oozy mud. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Squelch, 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 squelch. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a forest, a big, dark forest. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a snowstorm. A swirling, whirling snowstorm. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. A cave. A narrow, gloomy cave. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no. We've got to go through it. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. What's that? One shiny, wet nose, two big furry ears, two big goggly eyes. It's a bear! Quick, back through the cave. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Back through the snowstorm. Woo, woo, woo. Back through the forest. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Back through the mud. Squelch, 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 squelch. Back through the river. Splish, splosh, splish, splosh. Back through the grass. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. Get to our front door. Open the door. Up the stairs. Oh no, we forgot to shut the door. Back downstairs. Back upstairs. Into the bedroom. Into bed. Under the covers. I'm not going on a bear hunt again.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.